What's happening, everybody? Cowboy here, and today I am joined by Oroboro the Ninja.
Oh, hello.
And we got RhoParkour as well.
Hello.
And today we're going to be talking about Dark Souls 3. So obviously the network test just wrapped up a few weeks ago. All three of us were fortunate enough to get in the network test and get some hands-on, do some of the PvP, some of the PvE, and we're just going to kind of bullshit about it today. So what do you guys think? Overall, first impressions, what were your thoughts?
10 out of 10. No backstab fishing.
Yeah, I really like the backstep changes, but there are a lot of things that I have questions.
Yeah.
And the movement just felt amazing.
What was nice too is I noticed, and I only had it happen maybe once or twice, but like there are instances where I'd try to backstab and it would miss, and you could continue it through into another attack.
Yeah, you could throw it into an R1
Yeah,
straight away.
the attempt sort of counts as a normal attack.
Yeah.
I've seen people get caught by the backstab attempt as a normal attack. But I also noticed that if you're in range of the backstab attempt, even if you're not the target, you will be caught in a backstab animation.
Oh yeah, it'll
No
vacuum
damage.
you in.
So so that's how I managed to backstab 2 people.
Yeah, I did see that.
I saw that too. That was fucking insane.
Yeah.
The other guy didn't take damage though. So
Did
it's
he
just
not?
no, no, no. Only your primary target, the one that actually connects with the weapon, takes damage. The other guy just gets stunned.
That's really weird.
So, yeah, it's like a backstab cancel.
So, thinking about this, I mean, and I think the obvious comparison we're hearing from a lot of people right now is we're kind of seeing the mechanics and a lot of the moveset from the original Dark Souls, but with the updated fluidity of Bloodborne.
Yeah, but there's a lot of things taken from Dark Souls 2 as well. Like, the 2-hit combo system, for example. Like, you know, almost every weapon is a 2-hit combo, except for the fucking Legion Scimitars. They don't have a 2-hit combo, and they're trash. I don't know.
Well,
I
not
used
that
them
we
pretty
found.
effectively, but
Maybe it's not R1. Maybe they require some other inputs. So
I tried everything, man. I tried like R1 into the dual wield L1, and it just nothing comboed in. It was really disappointing. I don't know if they're gonna change that. I just felt like those are really underpowered.
Probably.
I think the weapon arts on the scimitars though were pretty powerful.
Oh
I noticed-
yeah, those were the best part about it, and the running attack.
Yeah, those were devastating to people.
I didn't use it a lot, but didn't it have this double running effect when it was
Yeah.
in weapon art form?
If you were in the dual wield stance, you could do like a little spinny, but it had like 0 tracking. People could literally just strafe it.
I was using mostly the cleric and the big greatsword. So something that really kind of like highlighted the network test was their poise system. It's sort of
Yeah,
it's not a poise system, which I like. It's hyper armor,
hyper armor. Oh
and
my God.
I'm actually a fan of that. I'll be honest.
Yeah, well, the greatsword has that. The one sword art for that's basically like built-in hyper armor, kind of just giving you that opening to soak an attack and hit for heavy damage.
I one-shot so many people with it.
Yeah, no, greatsword seems really insane. Like, every time I tried to swing my short sword with the knight against the greatsword, I would just lose. Because he would just hyper armor through it and 2-hit me. And I was like, I realized soon that it was just a generally bad idea to swing against greatsword users. You either had to parry them or, like,
And you
try
couldn't
to
fist
poke
them.
Yeah.
You couldn't do what you did in other Souls games.
No, I couldn't fist them. I couldn't fist them right in the back there.
No,
It's
no,
unfortunate.
that wouldn't work. Maybe not with the weapons that we were given.
Yeah, but
Maybe you need something like a dagger, or something.
maybe to make a faster backstab, but
Right.
it felt really good that like strength weapons seemed actually really viable in PvP now, you know.
And they were intimidating. That big ass sword. When you see somebody with that, you were like, I better be careful. This is actually dangerous. It didn't feel like, well, I'm just gonna backstab fish this guy and be done with it.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll just roll backstab.
The greatsword in particular, I think my favorite thing with it was the L2 charge for the weapon art had like insane tracking. Like I had somebody try to circle behind for a backstab, and my guy did the full, like he started priming it and then did a full 180 with it to connect with the hit.
Everything had really good track.
Yeah.
So overall,
Yeah.
thinking about weapon arts, I mean that's obviously I think the biggest mechanic change.
Right.
And I think it's
right.
going to be interesting.
They all give hyper armor, as I saw.
Some of them give hyper armor at the end, it seems, yeah. And They have infinite fracking. They're insane for PvP. I didn't find myself using them in PvE as much as I thought I did, though. They were really, like, sort of lackluster. I feel like just plain old R1, the quick attacks to safely dodge out of the way when something comes is better.
Yeah. Yeah, PvP.
You were never forced to do something else, like to break boys or something.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? I thought it was going to be the opposite.
You thought weaponers were gonna be for PvE and
Yeah, for like
only viable in
PvP.
PvE. You thought it was gonna be is it typical from MO, right? Make a lot of cool things, but they're only viable in PvE because in PvP they're garbage.
Well, I mean, and that's kind of what we saw at E3, where the guy was doing the weapon art with the greatsword, and he managed to go under the knight's attack and connect with them for heavy damage. But like I was trying to do that, and I felt like I was just getting hit in the face, and I was like, okay,
Well,
we're not
That
risking
guys
this.
practiced for hours for that.
Yeah.
For that demo, like the whole thing is staged. It's well done. It's practiced.
The magic, though, oh man, the update to Soul Greatsword, that was beautiful looking.
I really like the way it looks, but I still feel like magic is not really that viable for PvP. It's really easy to use and super telegraph.
Yeah, but I think they're going in the right direction with magic. I think that it's more viable than it's ever been in that network test we played.
That's true. I still feel that it's you can just see it and dodge. It's not.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's not like when somebody comes at you with a fucking 200,000 and there's this one where you're like, oh, I better be on my toes here, otherwise I'm gonna get like super
Instant
damage.
kill.
Yeah.
Well, at
Like
the
that.
same time too, we didn't get to see like a pure mage. Like everything we got to play was a hybrid of sorts. So
Right,
Yeah,
and
with
only a few spells, which the only fast one I could say was Soul Dart. I don't know if you ran into a guy that was spamming Soul Dart at you. That was annoying.
That was.
Yeah, you couldn't really get close because that's that thing, man.
With
well, there's the other
gankers
one
that-
too. Now, what was it? Soul, the little one.
Oh, the pew 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 pew.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Soul Dart. That's Soul Dart.
Yeah, Soul
Yeah,
Tickles.
Soul fucking dark. Soul tickles. They were so annoying. There's even worse because like you get stunned by that when you're getting ganked, and then another guy can hit you, and then another one, and then you're infinite, and then you're dead.
I hope this doesn't turn into what Dark Souls 2 did with the boss. You know, like you get hit once,
And you're dead.
everybody hits you because of the stun lock and then you're dead.
Well,
Or
it seems like
80%
there's no
good.
toggling. There's no toggling, so that's
But I wish it was like a sort of escape. At least like built into the engine, like, hey, you took 3 hits. You
There
can
might
do
be.
it now. So that'd be nice, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
So,
I think we're gonna be left with the whole like we're gonna get fucked as soon as we get
So moving into the PvP, and I've already seen this a lot, just like kind of the heated discussion on the content that I've uploaded so far. And I mean, you know, instead of humanity or the effigies were replaced with the Ember, and by default, host is getting a 40% boost to XP, and I think I like that over knocking down invader health as we saw in Bloodborne. And given it was a network test, but the way it's looking now, I mean, your invasions, like, do you think we're going to see a state where you have to expect a guaranteed 1 vs 2, 1 vs 3 with invasions?
I don't think that's gonna happen. I think that was just for the network test. But I'm still afraid they're not gonna learn for Bloodborne and keep it the way it is.
Yeah, exactly. Then, like, who knows? They could leave it like that because they did it with Bloodborne, or they could just, fix it. But we'll see. I think I prefer being able to invade everyone and anyone, just because it helps the longevity of the game as well.
I think Dark Souls 2 really did it right when it comes to
Yeah, Dark Souls 2 did it really right, the multiplayer system. But we'll see.
I think right now, at least, we're going to see a lot of, I mean, it looks at least like we can really facilitate fight clubs just with what we got to see in the network test, a game where you have a host and a bunch of summons and multiple reds.
Right.
So I think that's a big longevity thing right there.
Yeah.
Just
Oh, you know what I noticed, and then this is something that I really want to say. It's, I think they're still giving the host too much of an advantage if you think about it. Because he not only gets a 40% boost, he has basically double Estus compared to the
Double Estus as well.
And I think
yeah.
it should be either one or the other, not both. Right? You either give the host like that 40% boost, and they both have the same Estus, or you have them both have that 40% boost state because you're a phantom or something, and then you have half Estus. And otherwise it's just like really uphill.
Yeah.
Well, that was another interesting change. Is it's just like the invasions at least are a pure heal fest now. Like The whites have
Chugs.
the ability to Estus, the reds have the abilities to Estus. It's like they just decided to say, screw it, we're just going to let everybody heal, and then nobody can complain about it.
Honestly, I think that's fine.
Yeah, I think it's fine too, because there's a lot of like mechanics in place for invaders now. Like, number one, if you summon more than 3 phantoms into your world, so there's 4 total players, then you can get invaded by 2 phantoms, 2 red phantoms, you know. So
And
it
you
can
can
be
get
a
your
2v4.
Estus resupply every
Yeah.
time you kill somebody.
Yeah,
in
that was a
fight,
really
so-
nice change.
So it's not like Dark Souls 2, right? Where the guy just like fucking throws phantoms at you, which happened to me last night actually.
Yeah.
And you're like just running out of things, you know. I can't heal anymore because I ran out of warmth, or something like that. They can't do that anymore, even if they keep summoning. If you keep killing whites, you're
you'll
just
keep on
you're just a
healing.
healing machine,
Yeah.
and I think that can work.
That was a
Oh.
smart change on From
Yeah,
Software.
that was
for
smart.
sure.
Making the invader sustainable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thinking about the PvE changes, and I know we talked about this briefly, but what you guys think about what we got to see that was new?
Oh, I loved it, man. PvE feels as good as it always been.
I don't think
maybe even
anybody's
better.
surprised that the PvE was amazing. Nobody's.
Yeah.
That was just really good.
I definitely.
Movesets are always surprising of the enemies. You know, you don't expect something. When you think you got it figured out, suddenly they throw something at you. Bosses movesets, godly.
Well, I felt like there was a lot of just variety. You know, like a lot of areas you walk into an area in Dark Souls, and in general you're gonna see maybe 3-4 enemy archetypes, and they're all kind of your basic bitch enemies. And
Dude, that
I mean-
tree dude.
yeah, just
The guy
here
that turned
alone,
into
yeah, we
this
had the
thing, this tree snake thing.
yeah, that was crazy. First time running into that.
Yeah, I got really scared.
I mean, you had that. You had all your basic undead enemies. You had the knights. You had the big fatty blue knight that liked to spin all around. You
And
had-
he casts magic.
Smoke?
Yeah,
Like I fucking surprised you. Like
I only saw him do it once, but that definitely threw me off when I saw it happen.
Smo was a boss.
he didn't look like the archetype magic guy, so you didn't expect a sudden AOE sorcery thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah
man.
he's doing a twirl whirl with his axe, and then suddenly he starts bombing out AOEs. Oh man, but yeah, it's. I mean, right now, at least from what we saw, I'm definitely liking the state that it's in. I think there's still some work that needs to be done. Starting classes so far look pretty good, but they were just kind of standard for what we come to expect, I think.
I just like that they're able, something that I've noticed, you know, like, in every Souls game, this has happened. There's like 3 top tier weapons that everybody uses, and everything else is kind of garbage compared to it.
Yeah.
But it seems that they're trying to close that gap, so
Well,
that you can have all weapons coexisting in a more so viable state.
I think getting rid of poise is a step in that right direction, because some weapons in Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2 just weren't even viable, because people just walk straight through them, you know?
Right. Yeah, Dark Souls 1 you couldn't really use Ultra Greatswords that much because people could just poise VS you.
Yeah, and then that,
Yeah.
oh, also backstab. Backstab changes, of course, may have a huge
Right.
effect on viability of, like, half the weapons, too. That's really exciting.
Well, thinking about all the weapons, and this is, I mean, given we couldn't access the inventory at all,
No.
so
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
we're-
really sad.
we're
It's something that I really hope they got rid of is adaptability.
Well,
That,
that's-
was,
Yeah, me
that was just a shit idea. I want iframes to be sort of either universal for everybody or tied to your equip, to your equip load, as it was in Dark Souls 4.
Well, that's what I'm curious to see. You know, in Bloodborne, we didn't think there was equipment load, and then kind of after the fact, through testing, people discovered there was an effect on the stamina based on your equipment
You know what I
load.
think happened with that? It turned out to be a bug that was fixed in an update.
Was it?
Yeah, I think what happened was that they were using a sort of ported Dark Souls 1 engine. And what they did to fix everything was to set everything's weight to 0. But I think they may have overlooked a few things.
That's bizarre.
So that's
What the
the,
fuck?
I think that's the way that we managed to have a weight system with some. So only some items had weight.
Yeah.
Like when you turned on your lamp, you were suddenly over encumbered.
Yeah, oh, yeah, that was really weird.
So I think whoever was like doing the data entry, like what the values were, like, oh yeah, the lamp weight is 0, but they didn't like remove the weight of the lit lamp.
Right.
You know, may count as a different technique. I don't know. I don't know enough about the engine to really tell you. But it's been proven that it was a bug, and they decided they got rid of it.
That's weird, but like some people are panicking. Some people are like super freaking out about Dark Souls 3 because they're seeing the network test and they're like, "Yo, like this guy's got a fucking greatsword in his pocket and he's fast rolling. Like, what the fuck did they get rid of equipment?
Oh,
for it, like Bloodborne?"
like that didn't happen in the other games.
Yeah, no,
Honestly,
it's like, dude, it's just a network test. Like, they're gonna have equip load. Like, shit.
Not only that, right? Even if you manage to make a build
Oh,
like
you
that,
probably
just
could just stack endurance and do
like,
it.
I saw people ninja flipping with fucking great gloves, and
Yeah,
people have a problem with that. Like at level 125, with just the right min-max.
Yeah.
That's see, Dark Souls 2, same thing. You can have like yesterday I was playing a dude with a pocket smelter hammer. You know, that gigantic Cheeto.
Yeah. Oh fuck.
Yeah. Sorry about my dog. Let me go
It's
see what I can do about it.
Uh-oh.
Rose Puppy wants to be in the video as well.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, it's not my dog. Holy shit. My dog's right here, just chilling on the couch. It's like the neighbor's dog.
It's just the stranger dog.
No, it's some dog in the street.
No, I know, or you managed to do a little bit of testing with this with the red summons. Were reds also able to connect via password?
No, they weren't. Not at all. Like, I think when we get the red sign it'll work, but invading, no, doesn't work.
Okay. Because that's the, I mean, we obviously had the orb in place, and I'd imagine the signs are going to make a return as well.
Yeah.
I think they
It really sucks.
they decided to abandon the crappy bell system.
Oh, thank God.
It's just so random.
Yeah, that bell system, man.
And we do have confirmation, at least, that soul memory is no longer going to be a thing.
Yeah, thank God. Thank you, Miyazaki.
So that's a very, very welcome change. I think everyone's excited with.
Step in the right direction.
So what about surprises? Like going through this network test, was there anything that you saw that really just kind of made you guys your jaws drop?
Seeing a Drake in a bridge.
Scared the shit out of you, yeah.
No, I didn't expect it, but I expected it too.
Yeah.
And I just like the confirmation was a surprise. I don't know
The
how to
best.
feel about it, but I liked it in the end.
Oh, it's a classic Miyazaki, like, Drake at the beginning of the game, like, to fuck your shit up and set you on fire. It's funny. God, I think the biggest surprise to me is that there wasn't instant backstabs like I thought there was, like, in PvP. I was like,
Everybody
the first
was
time I
like,
went for
"This
one,
is gonna
I was
be
like,
Dark Souls 1.5
Yeah, I
with
was like, I
instant
was so scared.
backstabs."
I was so scared because I hate the instant backstab things. It makes like half the weapon swings like useless, you know.
I'm not against them, but I felt like I wouldn't be sad if they went away forever.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I definitely prefer swinging my weapon over the whole like counter backstab meta of Dark Souls 1. That's why I really enjoyed Dark Souls 2, you know.
It feels a lot more setting friendly.
Yeah.
You're like a medieval style fantasy knight or like a mage thing.
Yeah.
You're not backstabbing each other out of nowhere. Nobody actually fights like that.
No.
No. You're actually like swinging the weapon, using the moveset and all that jazz.
Yeah, it feels a lot better. And the netcode, I don't know if you guys felt it, but the netcode felt really, really good.
I think they took
precise.
Dark Souls 2 style as netcode.
I think they did. I think they
Sort
did.
of, only the attacker has a hit control.
Yeah.
You could do phantom hits.
Yeah, you could do phantom hits.
It felt pretty standard. I felt like it was even a little more fluid than it was before. Like for the
Yeah.
most part, I think I ran into maybe one or two people where I was just, you know, as I was rolling, I was getting a hit by an axe that was 10 feet behind me, but
Yeah,
I think they mixed the best of what they could. I don't know if you've seen John's video about netcode, about how Bloodborne's netcode is like the wrong kind of netcode for the kind of game.
Yeah.
He explains the difference between the Dark Souls 2 style netcode and the Dark Souls 1 netcode. And I think they took the best for what they have, and you're still gonna have downsides no matter what.
Yeah.
In one, there's gonna be more latency because of the double hit confirmation, and the other one is gonna have low latency, but you're gonna have phantom range.
Yeah.
Because there's only hit confirmation on one end. But in the end, it just looks like they took a Dark Souls 1 engine, they added Dark Souls 2 netcode, Dark Souls 2 style backstabs, And guard breaks. Oh my god, how can we forget about this?
Yeah, holy shit.
The guard breaks. I love that. I didn't expect it. I thought it was gonna be Dark Souls 1 style.
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna guard break the guy and he was gonna just roll away or panic or something. And then suddenly I reposted the asshole.
Yeah.
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 I like that a lot.
Really happy about that. Oh, guess what? Now getting guard broken matters again.
Yes, it does.
And it's not super slow, you know, like Dark Souls 2.
No, it just boom.
It's not like this really slow ass lab you can just like sort of walk out of. You don't even just. No,
Well, there was a thing about that. The kick isn't exactly a guard break. It's still just a kick, but it does a lot.
Kick.
It does a lot of stamina damage.
It's
So if
dangerous.
if they have full stamina and you just kick them straight up, most of the time they will just block it. Like, it's not a guard break. It just does a lot of stamina damage.
But what if you followed it up with your sword?
If you follow it up with another hit,
short
then
sword or something.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I did, and it was just pretty riposte, you know.
It's really good.
Yeah.
And riposte is something that I definitely did not necessarily like, but I don't know if this is gonna be in the end. Guard break riposte, I think they did too much damage.
I don't know.
I think they had the Dark
Alright.
Souls 2, the Dark Souls 2 syndrome where it was like pretty much a one shot.
I mean, I think it depended on the weapon. Like, for the most part, I felt like you were still getting around half of someone's health with a
Yeah.
backstab or a guard break, but, you know, considering the circumstances and the levels that we were at for the network test, I believe we were all locked at, what was it, level 8?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you figure at health that low, like, yeah, it's gonna...
Didn't you feel like your health was really high though? For the beginning of a Souls game? I felt like my health was forever. I could get hit like a crazy person in the
I mean, I felt like when the Ember was up, it was.
Oh, the Ember. Oh, yeah, that made you really bad. You're absolutely right. Maybe I should start thinking about that health as hollow health. You know, ended up
Yeah.
Demon Soul style.
It seemed like.
Well, I think that's kind of an interesting change from a PvE standpoint too, you know, because before we kind of had the opposite. It was like as you continually die, you know, your health's just going to get lower and lower and lower, and you know, you got to the point where you were like, screw it, you know, I'm just going to play with a fraction of my health bar, and then, you know, I'll use an effigy before the boss. And now instead, it's like, you know, I would go through the entirety of the level, and then upon reaching the boss, pop that Ember, and you know, it's the full heal plus the extra 40% health, and like you were going into the boss fight feeling like you were a boss yourself as long as your health bar suddenly was.
Yeah.
Well, that didn't really work like that, actually. Pete tested that. I saw the test, the way the Ember works. You don't get a heal. You need to be full health to use it.
Do you?
Yeah.
That's not true at all, though.
Yeah, I thought like I used it plenty to heal and buff my health up.
Really?
No, not if you were invading or whatever, you couldn't use it. But if you were a host and like you were like half health, yeah, you could use the heal for it.
My bad. Maybe that could be a good change too.
Yeah.
Make you commit to being a Lord of the Embers or whatever that one is called.
Yeah, I did like the fiery effect on your character.
Oh, that looked really good.
Yeah.
That looked really cool.
Yeah,
I'm sad though. that
Visually, it was pretty beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, the whole game was beautiful. Holy
Yeah.
shit. The best looking.
I'm sad that it's
village,
30 frames on the PS4.
30 frames makes me sad.
Yeah.
It does.
It looks
But I
really
think-
good, but they have to. Like, it's a console. Nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, I mean, even then, for 30 frames, I think it looked really good.
Oh yeah. I mean,
It
your
didn't
eyes
drop
get used to it.
once. It didn't drop once. But we don't know about the final game. We don't know. Because, I'm just gonna say this. If it's gonna be steady 30 frames, I have no problem. But if it's gonna be Bloodborne 30 frames... now we have a concern.
Now we have a concern. Yeah. Well,
Because that shit... Dude, Bloodborne was at 15 sometimes when you were in the game.
from what we played, it seemed pretty steady, even with like 6 people in a game, and it seemed fine.
We don't know that yet, because it may have been, like, sort of a setup level to look good. You think?
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
We don't know if it's gonna change anything. But from what we've seen so far of the network test of it.
Yeah, I think that, well, and it's a stylistic difference too. You know, Bloodborne, you added in between the guns and the weapon changes. I think it was just designed to try and have a faster pace overall. Whereas kind of the medieval style that you see with Dark Souls, it doesn't have that same speed.
No.
I think they learned that you can't have multiplayer at those speeds. Not with the kind of game you want to do. It's not a 2D fighting game. There's so much more data that you need to go through in a network.
We never talked about parries. Did you guys like parry the shit out of people?
Not really, to be honest. I mean, I did a few baits and stuff like that. I noticed that the damage was nice.
Yeah.
The timings were really natural.
Yeah.
At least compared to the rest of the Dark Souls 1 games, they were even more natural.
Yeah.
Closer to the PvE timings. That's
I
what
mean, I'm not even a big parry person, and I was getting parried, so I'd say it was an improvement.
Yeah, no, it felt like, you know, in Dark Souls 1 you had to, like, do all this bullshit and, like, figure out the person's latency, you know, when they fucking swing and the timing that they hit you and do the damage. You're like, okay, I gotta swing then and fucking parry them. It was like none of that bullshit. It's like Dark Souls 2, where if you get a parry on your screen, you get that parry as client side. So it felt really good. If you got the parry, you know, on your screen, it was boom, they were dead.
And it wasn't an absurd delay either, you know? Sometimes I felt like Dark Souls 1 parries were really weird, because you parry it, and you just hum that tune, you were like, do-do-do-do, and suddenly you have, like, the guy in a riposte animation.
Yeah.
Right? This one felt like, oh, you parried, and then the guy was impossible. It felt...
Yeah, but,
the delay was really nice.
I think the parries are going to be more powerful than they've ever been in this game, especially because of backstepping. It's hard to punish them. Like,
Did you try to parry a two-handed ultra greatsword? I did not.
Oh, I did.
Is it terrible?
It doesn't seem like it from what I did, but the one-handed is, you can parry it on sight. I can see it.
Yeah, I had the one-hand parried, and when I was two-handing it, the jumping attack got parried once.
Yeah, the jumping attacks are now parried, and kicks are parried too. That's a good thing to know.
I've heard about that.
It's fucking crazy.
I'm not sad about that either. I'm okay with
You just gotta time your attacks right after their parry and just punish them like that.
Yep.
I think that's the best way to punish parries, but damn, they're strong.
You know what I like? That you can resin. Repause.
The resin repose.
Yeah, the 10-second resin you have. Holy crap.
Yeah, I saw that.
I was disappointed. At first I was really disappointed with the resin. I was like, dude, 10-second buff, like, buffs are dead, my build is dead, my life is dead. And then they're like actually quite good, because you can like do it out of a roll, you can do it like super quick. Like the buff comes out very quickly. You're not like sitting there in a long ass animation.
It's like a Bloodborne buff a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. It's even faster than that.
Yeah, it's just very much, I kind of like it more. Like at first I was the same way, you know, just playing with it. Like I'd use it right at the start of the boss fight, and then by the time I got a hit, and it was falling down. And then as I did more and more, it was like as I was coming out of the roll, pop it when you know you have that window of opportunity, and then you were actually kind of seeing the damage happen.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be better when we can buy them in masses instead of having like 3.
I think we might be limited to this time.
Yeah, maybe.
Because think about it, you can't, when you can buy them in masses, right? Then what's the point of having them time? You can just be buffed all the time, right? Even though it might be expensive. But if you level cap or something and you get a good soul income, then it doesn't matter.
Now I got a feeling that they're gonna definitely sell them.
Oh yeah, they're gonna definitely sell them, and I think that's how fate buffs are gonna work too, right? You're gonna
I think so.
You're
Yeah.
gonna have to cast every so often, which I'm not against. I think Dark Souls 3 seems to be going in the direction of having these very temporary powerful buffs
Yeah.
instead
like
of these permanent powerful buffs.
Yeah.
So like I noticed it with the maze weapon art too, not only resins, and you know the Skyrim shout is also really temporary.
Yeah, the battle axe.
Yeah. I tried to get a hit from the shout and it doesn't work, and that made me sad.
No, it's
Like it's not, it's not quite the dragon roar.
What was really nice was the maze weapon art. I really felt like a powerful cleric that did some kind of paladin style power, and then I was suddenly impervious to all damage.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
voice.
I baited so many people with that hyper voice. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do feel like they did a good job of making each weapon art appropriate for that particular weapon.
Yeah. The weapon arts are actually really awesome. I was surprised. I thought I wasn't like to use them at all, but
I'm kind of sad about the shield separation. You know, there's blocking shields and there's
yeah.
parry shields, and you can't do weapon arts with parry shields from one-handed. I just feel that it's a little bit too telegraphed.
I felt like there was no point in even using the other shield over the parry shield because it blocked like almost the same amount and like had a parry. It's like, why would I ever
The
use it?
stability was really different, so, and with guard break reposters.
Oh yeah, that is sort of a concern. I didn't see that big of a difference though when I tested the two shields. Like, there was
I mean,
barely
I saw
any
it.
shift.
I think in PvE at least it was really apparent because like the steel shield on the knight, like you could sit there and when you were fighting the Black Knight guys, you could block every single one of their attacks and it wasn't even like tickling your stamina bar.
Oh, okay. Well, I use it in PvP, so maybe that was the difference.
Yeah, in PvE at least, trying to use the parry shield to block, you were taking like one attack was going through about 75% of your stamina.
Oh shit. Okay. Oh, there you go.
I don't know how
It's
that's
a bit balanced.
current, but that might be a consideration.
Yeah,
I still don't like that, hey, I want to parry, then I might have to switch out to my parry shield, and suddenly wanting to parry becomes unviable because the guy knows I'm going to try to parry.
Well, I don't know. I think it's almost balanced that way because parrying is super strong, man. It's super strong. Without, like,
sometimes it's not even the parrying itself; it's just the threat of it. It makes somebody you get this respect, you know.
Yeah.
Somebody's not just gonna go in and attack you like that because
Well, it's
there's
the same
threat.
thing. Same thing in Dark Souls 2 when you see someone with a target shield or something like that. You're just like, oh fuck, I do not want to swing. Like,
Careful.
So we only got about another 3 minutes of footage. So moving towards wrapping this up, what would you guys say are your expectations for Dark Souls 3? Final thoughts?
I'm really fucking excited. Like,
I'm
from
excited.
what we played, it was like PvP is fucking top notch. Honestly, like, I don't want to play Dark Souls 2 anymore because I had a little taste of Dark Souls 3 and like, shit, it feels like the perfect combination of all those games, and that's just,
Please, from take Dark Souls 2 matchmaking system and use that shit. Use that
aside
shit,
from Soul
you know?
Memory, of course.
Yeah. Soul Memory, that thing is really perfect. But you guys, please take Dark Souls 2's sort of invasion mechanics. Like the boss doesn't need to be alive and shit like that. You can invade everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
That's definitely my hopes.
That was one thing that I did see that I got real salty about. I had invaded one person and they managed to run back into the boss fog to heal up and then come back out to fight
Yep.
me.
Yep, that happened to me too. That was fucked up. I hope they fix that. They gotta fix that.
Yeah,
Like
I'm-
straight through, not even an animation. They just boop, walk through it.
Yeah.
Oh, the instant fog.
Yeah. Fuck. If you
why?
open up the door already,
I
then you
think
could
I
just
think
walk
Dark Souls 2 did that right.
Yeah.
Where you have like this small window where you can be hit.
Yeah.
You
I
can't
noticed that in
just-
the fog in general, like just from like when I was finishing up the PvE videos, like I could sprint past stuff and the second I touched the fog, even if the knights were attacking, it didn't matter. You were going
Nope.
through that fog.
Completely invincible.
Yeah.
I had someone open the door on me, and I was sitting there like an idiot trying to like hit him, and then this phantom like crushed me.
I had Phantom sort of do a NFL style body block.
Oh my
So that the
God.
host could go into the pub wall. Like these three guys, they weren't even attacking me. They were just blocking around the host, and they were probably on like Mumble or Skype or something. Like, host, just you go into the pub wall. We will stop this man. And
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, there was
But-
definitely a lot of that.
I'm sure they'll fix those problems, and I'm sure it's gonna end up being a great game. Because from what we played, like, I want more.
Yeah.
And we know there's gonna be something ridiculous. We just know it, and I can't wait to see what the personality is gonna be.
Oh
Like,
boy.
like a buffed ultra greatsword that looks pink or something, and it two shots you. It's something really dumb.
Sounds like Demon Souls.
Yeah, there'll be something. There always is.
Yeah.
There always is. All right, well, that's going to wrap this one up. Once again, big thanks to Oroboro and Ro for joining me today to go
Yay.
through all the mechanics and stuff. So, either way, guys, hope you are all as excited for Dark Souls 3 as we are. Obviously, we had a ton of fun playing it on the network test. I'd be willing to bet that they're going to allow us to have a beta a little bit closer to release, but obviously we're a couple months off for that. So, with that being said, thanks for coming by, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye bye. Bye bye. Thanks for
Bye.
watching.